Good evening once again to all of you. Today we are starting the fourth session of the third competency. So I think so far most of you, right, have joined the live classes, right? And some are unable to join the live class even today. Some have informed me, right? Puta, remember, I told you how important this subject is in the beginning, right? And on the other hand, this is one subject where you can target an A pass without much difficulty. What you should do is just go through these lessons, complete the tutorials and study them. Okay, these tutorials contain, right, information more than enough for you to obtain a very good pass in all levels. Right, Puta? Good. Let's start. So we have already completed 2 business organizations so far. They are sole proprietorships and partnerships. So today we are moving to the 3rd business organization, and we are going to complete all the things today. We are discussing incorporated companies, right, cooperative societies and other associations today. So that will end, right, the private sector, the discussion of the private sector business organizations, right? So without wasting time, let me share the colorful presentation which I have prepared just for you. Okay, give me a minute. Puta, it is the 4th session, and today we are discussing incorporated companies plus 2 more business organizations. Pute, what is an incorporated company? Children, if you like, you can write the note down at the same moment. Otherwise, you can write complete the tutorial when you watch the recorded session. Pute, business organizations which are incorporated under the Companies Act number 7 of 2007 are recognized as incorporated companies. Incorporated companies. What is it? Business organizations which are incorporated under the company. Remember this particular definition. Huh? Companies Act number 7 of 2007 are recognized as incorporated companies. Any business organization, if it is incorporated under the Act number 7 of 2007, are recognized or classified as an incorporated company. This is the definition, right? Pute, the importance of this business organization compared to the other 2 business organizations which we have completed is, right? Incorporated companies raise capital by issuing shares, right? So none of the partnerships or sole proprietorship can do this. But incorporated companies, right, they can raise the capital by issuing shares. Ask your parents, Puta. Sometimes your father's or right mother has, invested in share market. Ask them sometimes. It is one of the famous investment methods in Sri Lanka, right? So like that. So incorporated company can raise capital by issuing the shares, right? Puta. Look at the next one. Not like the sole proprietorships or the partnerships. Incorporated company are recognized as a limited liability business. Children, when you write this note, make sure that you write this part, the first sentence with the red color because it's the definition, and the next 2 with the normal color. Okay, good. Let's move to the next one. Characteristics. Mangodak Dinabuta, just study 4 or 5. First one. Has to be if it is an incorporated company, it has to be incorporated under the Companies Act number. This should be not at, okay, Act number 7 of 2007. Very simple, right? Right? It has to be incorporated under the Companies Act number 7 of 2007. Okay. Next is, there is a legal personality. In other words, incorporated company is recognized as a legal entity. in front of the law, in entering in agreements, right? This company has a legal personality. In other words, this company can act, right, as a legal person, okay, or an artificial person in front of the law. Okay, remember that. Third characteristic, Puta, as I told you previously, it is a limited liability business. Okay, it is a limited liability business. Is the third characteristic. Fourth, having a continued existence. Legal personality. I told you there are two types of legal personalities. Limited liability. There are two types of there are liabilities. There are two types of existence. So, incorporated company has a continued existence. Puta, shall I tell you something? While this lecture is going on, try to compare incorporated company with a sole proprietorship. Think what I told you. Try to compare the incorporated company with a partnership. That is how, right, you can, right, learn this subject well. That is how you can train. Fifth characteristic, number 5. Puta, do you know ownership, right, can be transferred? How? I told you previously that incorporated companies are raising capital by issuing shares. You know, you can, let's say that you have purchased 100 shares of a company, then you are the owner, right? But once you have sold those shares, you have just transferred your ownership to another person. Are we clear? So in an incorporated company, the ownership can be transferred. Next, can raise capital by issuing shares. I told you this is not available in sole proprietorships or partnerships or any other business organization. Okay, this is strictly for the incorporated companies. Okay, Puta. Next one, managed by a board of directors. Listen to me, right? Incorporated companies are managed by a board of directors. Okay, right? These are the characteristics. Okay, these are the characteristics of an incorporated company. Right. Characteristics, advantages, disadvantages. Let's move to the advantages of incorporated company. First one, not like sole proprietorships or partnerships. You can raise more capital by, right, using this business organization. Can raise more capital. Next is, there is a legal personality, right, connected to the business. It's an advantage. Third, existence of limited liability. There is a limited liability in the business. That means, right, Puta, right, the liability of the owner is, right, strictly for the amount that he has invested in the business. In other words, owners are not required to sacrifice their own, right, they don't want to sacrifice their own, right, wealth in related with the partnership. Okay, give a minute. Right. Good. Next one, fourth, having a continued existence. Incorporated companies, right, do not normally winding off, right, with a change in the ownership or, right, expiry of the ownerships. It doesn't happen. Okay, Dinal, it doesn't matter, Puta. I'll send you the recording. Okay, right. Welcome to the class. Number 5, easily attracts domestic and foreign investors. Why? Advantages, right? It is more secure than, right, starting a sole proprietorship and a partnership. Therefore, incorporated companies attracts domestic and sometimes foreign investors. Okay, good. Number 6, can raise capital by issuing shares. Another advantage. Can raise more capital, right? Another advantage is can raise capital by issuing shares. Next, managed by a board of directors, right? Everybody in the business is not involved in management, because there is a board of directors appointed among the shareholders. The management is done by them. Here we have the advantages. Okay, let's move to the other topic, disadvantages. I told you, in all levels, all what you need is just to recognize the characteristics, advantages and disadvantages of these business organizations. Right, Puta? First one. Disadvantages, not like sole proprietorship or partnerships. There are a lot of legal boundings in the business, legal provisions. You have to follow them. A disadvantage, right? Next is higher initial cost of starting. Higher initial cost of starting. I told you, a sole proprietorship can be, if you like, you can start a sole proprietorship today if you have enough money, but by using any amount you like. But you can't do it, right, for incorporated companies, because the starting cost is very high. A disadvantage. Third, inflexible regulations. Do you know, right? There are some regulations where you cannot change. You must adhere to that. You can't change. Some regulations are strict. They should be followed. A disadvantage. Next one, difficulty to dissolve. Can you remember I told you a sole proprietorship can be dissolved by the decision made by the sole proprietor. A partnership can be dissolved by using, right, the decision of the partners. But you can't do that in incorporated companies. It is very hard to dissolve. There is a long legal process. Right, Puta? Next is management is complicated. Let me tell you why. In an incorporated company, we have large number of shareholders, owners, right? So management is complicated than other businesses, right? So let me put it like this way. In a sole proprietorship, also in a partnership, we have just a very less number of stakeholders. I think you can remember this word, right? But when it comes to an incorporated company, the number, the cluster of stakeholders is very high and complicated. Therefore, management is complicated. Next disadvantage. Profits are shared. It is shared among a large number of shareholders sometimes. Okay. And the next disadvantage. Ownership is also shared. Compared to a sole proprietorship, you can come up these two things with as disadvantages. Profit is shared, ownership is shared. Disadvantages. Okay, good. Let's move to the next one. Types of incorporated companies. According to your textbook, Puta, it introduces two types of incorporated companies, namely private limited companies and next is public limited companies. Okay, there are two types of companies, incorporated companies. First one, private limited. Second is public limited. These have you denote them. PVT within brackets LTD, private limited company. I think you have seen them when you travel. And PLC, public limited companies. Got the idea? Good. Next one. differences between private limited and a public limited company. What are the differences? Puta, I'm going to compare these two businesses under, right, a few recognition criteria. Okay, right, some basis. Puta, raising capital. Private limited company cannot issue shares in the public. Let me tell you how, right? Private limited company is also issuing shares, but they can't be issued to the public. They can issue the shares among themselves. I mean, right, the people that they know, among the family, among the friends, like that. Okay, so private limited companies cannot issue the shares in public, but public limited companies can issue shares to the general public. Next is minimum number of shareholders. Do you know, right? Private limited companies, the minimum number of shareholders is 1. Make a difference. It's a similarity, right? It's a similarity, right? For public limited company also, the minimum number of shareholders is 1. That means even a single person can start a private limited company. Even a single person can start or fund a public limited company. That is the minimum. But maximum changes. In a private limited company, maximum number of shareholders is 50. 50. But in a public limited company, maximum number of shareholders is unlimited. See? It's very simple. So today, right, I asked some questions from 2021 O-level students, right, in my school. I was, right, I was not satisfied with them because they have not studied the basics either. So don't be like that. You have these sources. So go through it. Keep the tutorial safe. Keep the tutorial safe, right? Lesson file from lesson to lesson. I have given you the competency numbers. We are in the 3rd competency. So at this moment, you should have 3 files, separate files. One for foundation of business, one for business environment, and another one for business organizations. Right? Collect these tutorials according to the correct order. Why can't you do that? Why can't you do that? Right? So they will get the results for sure. Right? Good. So these are the differences between the private limited company and a public limited company. Okay. Now I'm moving to the next business organization. Before that, I think you have copied all the things, right, up to this part. Questions, answers, right? And we are moving to the next one. In fact, to the 4th business organization in the private sector, cooperative societies. Cooperative. A democratically controlled, independent organization which aims to achieve common needs of a group of individuals is called as cooperative society. Now, the definitions must be learned by heart. Okay. It is a democratically controlled. I think we know the word democracy. As, right, we all are living in a democratic, right, Republic of Sri Lanka. Everybody knows what is democracy. It is, right, the willingness of the majority. So the cooperative societies are controlled democratically according to the willingness of the majority. That is what it means. And on the other hand, it is an independent authority. Okay, independent. But the importance is this. It is not like sole proprietorships. partnerships, or incorporated companies, right? Cooperative societies is not targeting to generate profits. In other words, it is a non-profit business organization. See, in the definition, I have not spoken about the profit. Okay. So look at the objective, which aims to achieve common needs of a group of individuals. Common needs, not to make a profit. Okay. So this is the definition of a cooperative society. Write it and study. Next, what is the main aim of a cooperative society? But give me a minute. Main aim of a cooperative society, it is to achieve common needs of a group of individuals. Don't ever say that it is a profit motive business. No. Cooperative societies have been established with the main aim to, right, to satisfy the needs of a group of individuals. Okay, it is the answer. Then it is not, the profit is not their main source, right? Main objective. What has to be their main source of income? Can they sell goods? Yes, they can, right? But that is not going to be recognized as their source, main source of income. It is membership subscriptions. Wait a minute. Right? I think you know this, right? If you are a member of a cooperative society, there are membership subscriptions you have to pay annually. It is the main source of income. Membership subscriptions. Next is minimum number of members need to start a cooperative society. Straightforward answers. The answer is 10 members. Minimum is 10. Okay. Minimum is 10. Governing Act of Cooperative Societies in Sri Lanka. Right? There is an act which, formulates the legal background for cooperative societies. Remember this, right? Act. That is Cooperative Act number 5 of 1972. Okay, what are the right provisions in there? You don't want them. Nothing is wanted by yourself. Just remember the title of this act. Cooperative Act number 5 of 1972. Are we clear? See, straightforward answer, small answers. Harima lazy. Right? So I have done enough, right, by using this particular presentation slides. Do you have a... No. Welfare society is another association. Ashen, varadda ganna epa. Mame katha karanu ilangata. Welfare society, right, for an example, right, commerce club, commerce society, they comes under those other associations. This is a special one. Let me give you a few examples. Okay, right. First, characteristics of cooperative societies. First one, democratic control. It means it is controlled on the willingness of the majority. Next one, voluntarily and open membership. Okay, right, you can become a member. Open membership. Next is collective ownership of members. Right, collective ownership of members. Okay. Next one, number 4, having a legal personality. Remember, cooperative societies is a business organization with a legal personality. Okay. Next one, having a limited liability too. Cooperative societies have a limited liability. You can study them, right? It is a limited liability business. Next one, having continued existence. Okay, it can continue. So these are the characteristics of cooperative societies. Okay, Pute? Good. So at the end of this chapter, I'm going to give you a summary. ඒක මම හදලා තින්නේ පුතා A3 කොලයක. A3 paper එක මම හදලා තින්නේ. So take a hard copy of that and keep it safe, please. So because all these things have been summarized in one right paper. ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් කරගන්න ඕන. Right. Next is advantages of cooperative societies. මේ තියෙන්නේ පුතා. Having a democratic control advantage. Next is acting for the well-being of members. Another advantage. Everybody is going to be benefited. Everyone in the club is going to be benefited. Next is providing essentials at reasonable prices. ඔගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙනවද cooperative shops දැකලා තියෙනවද පුතා? Cooperative. Have you seen them? Yeah, you can purchase the goods. Yes, Nishans. You can purchase the essentials at a reasonable price. Reasonable price. Very good. Next is mutual support among members. Right? And higher degree of convenience to start. Sometimes within some businesses, right? Especially in garments, we have these cooperative societies, right? The members, the employees, they can purchase the goods at a reasonable price. It's an advantage. And the next is distributing surplus among the members. Okay, everyone is provided the membership fees and the surplus is distributed. We don't call it as the profit. It is called as the surplus, not the profit. Surplus distributes among the members. Advantage. Okay, they are the advantages of cooperative societies. Our next topic. Disadvantages of cooperative societies. Disadvantages. First one, limited capital. Listen to me, right? I told you the capital is the main source of income is membership fee. So it can't have more capital. Okay, it's a disadvantage. Next is should follow the stipulated cooperative policies. You can't change them. Okay, they have been established previously, and you have to follow those rules and policies. Should follow the stipulated cooperative policies. Next is less attention is given for making profits. Why? Every member wants to purchase the goods at a reasonable price. So how can this business generate a profit? A disadvantage. Right? Next is Puta. Frequent political interference. Satosa Rambalana, Satosa. How many political interference is there? It's a cooperative society. Okay, good. And these are the disadvantages of cooperative societies. Look at the next topic. Examples of cooperative societies in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka multi-purpose cooperative society. Remember these words, the names. Okay, multi-purpose cooperative societies. Then Sri Lanka coconut producers cooperative societies. Yes, Pute, but it is a cooperative society plus state corporation. Yes. Okay, there is a government involvement. Very good, awareness. Perfect. Right? Sri Lanka coconut producers cooperative society. Next is thrift and credit cooperative societies. Previous slide, disadvantages. Kalithibe disadvantages. Okay. Then thrift and credit cooperative societies. Ashen, you can watch the record session puta. Okay. Nata me session may flow ekyanama. Right? Ashen? Is it all right? Good. Thrift and credit cooperative societies. Remember these words, the names. Next is Sri Lanka Cooperative Marketing Federation Limited. Right? Just remember these words. Sri Lanka Cooperative Marketing Federation Limited. Right? Next is Sri Lanka Consumer Cooperative Societies Federation Limited. Right? When you get the textbook එකේ 3-4ක් තියෙනවා ඒක පාඩම් කරගන්න. Okay, these are the examples of right cooperative society in Sri Lanka. So I think you have copied the note to cover all the things that comes under cooperative societies. Examples. Okay. So we are moving to the third and the final. Private sector business organization associations. Let me tell you this. Like cooperative societies, associations are also recognized as a non-profit business organization. හරිද? මේකත් සැලකෙන්නේ පුතා non-profit business organization එකක් විදිහට. මේ බලන්න. අද අපි කතා කරපු දේවල් කොච්චරක් තියෙනවද කියලා මේ. හරිද? Incorporated companies. ඔයාලට තේරෙන්නේ නැද්ද මේ slide එකක් හරහා? Right? You can the main thing is since this is an online class, you can watch the recorded session. So take the maximum advantage of it. I know that at this same moment, some are copying the note. I know that. So listen to this lecture once again, because you will never get this in a physical class, even in your school. Okay. So take the maximum advantage. If parents are listening, please insist your children to watch the record session again and again. Right? It's an advantage for them. Right, Puta? Let's move to the the last private sector business organization associations. Now, who asked that question from me? Mage lasana ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහන්න ඉදලා මේ කවුද? Give me a minute. Ashen Velgama. Welfare society is not a cooperative society. It comes under this association. Okay, associations. Puta. Business organizations with the objective of social well-being is called as associations. Have you heard of Interact Club? අහලා තියෙනවද? පුතලා අහලා තියෙනවද Interact Club එක ඉස්කෝලේ තියෙන්නේ? අහලා තියෙනවද ඒක? Interact Club? Don't know? Rotary Club? No one has heard? Jesus Christ. Duniti? Yes. It's one of the famous clubs in a school. Right? Lions Club අහලා නැද්ද කවුරුත්? Lions Club කියන එකත් අහලා නැද්ද? හරි පුදුමයි. මොකක්ද නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ? සිංහ සමාජය කියන එක අහලා නැහැ? සිංහ සමාජය, මුතුහර ළමා සමාජය. අයියෝ. So these are the associations. Even that is a business. Yes. That is a business. But remember, it's an association. Business organization with the objective of social well-being. Dishans, okay, good. Is called as associations. Puta. Examples of associations in Sri Lanka. See, Lions Club. Nibalan. Sports clubs. But there is a problem. Sometimes you might wonder, are sports club are recognized as associations? SSC, CSC, the Carlton. Yeah, we'll see. That is a problem to be discussed, right? Yes, but anyway, sports clubs are recognized as associations. Next is death grant associations. Maranadara Samiti. Marunada passes halli den. Have you heard? Halati nane. Ikmata liya ganna. Ayya. Dishans. Hurry up. Okay. Hurry the patio. Huh? That. Now, examples. Examples. Lions Club, sports clubs, death grant associations, charities. Movements right? Charities, women's clubs. Women's club. Next is right. Interact clubs, Rotary Club, Commerce Union in a school, right? Single Literary Union, Tamil Union. All these are associations. Yes, Red Cross, of course, Duniti. Very good, very good. Red Cross, something I have forgotten here. It's an association. Sometimes it's an NGO. What is NGO? Anyone knows the words for that abbreviation? NGO ke namakad? Nobody knows. NGO ke non-government organization. NGO. Okay? Right. So NGOs are also comes under associations. Right. So these are the examples. Write them down. Right. And then characteristics. Characteristics. Puta. First one. Registration is not compulsory. Do you go and register your Interact Club in your school? No, you don't. Registration is not compulsory. Second is can be started easily. You can start it in your school sometimes, any association. Tamil Union. I can still remember when I was at St. Benedict's, right? How powerful those unions were. Tamil Union, Single Literary Union. They were so powerful, right? They were doing tremendous job to the school. I think still it is continuing. Next is activities aimed at members' welfare. Okay, members' welfare. Lions Club, right? They're targeting the welfare of the members. Okay. Next advantage, surplus is not distributed. It is right. None of the owners can generate profits because the surplus is not distributed. Next is Pute. Management is done by elected persons, isn't it? In a commerce society, in Tamil Union, it is governed by the chairman and the secretary and the treasurer. They have been elected at an AGM. Yes, good. Characteristics. Next one, major funds from contributions and donations, isn't it? You can collect the funds from contributions and donations of well-wishers. These are the characteristics. But I would like if you can listen to this lecture again, okay? I know that some are really busy with writing the note at this moment. Good. Let's move to the advantages of associations. First one, can be started easily. Establishment is so simple and easy. Next is useful to members and sometimes to the society, because sometimes Interact clubs, right, providing or doing the projects for the outsiders. So when I was the teacher in charge at St. Sebastian's, we were doing a project to clean the Panadur beach, right? Useful to members and society. Next is eligibility for public and private grants. Okay, most of the time, the public and sometimes the private businesses, right, coming up with, providing grants for these clubs. They're eligible. Next is formal structure, right? There is a president, there is a secretary, sometimes there is a vice president, there is a vice secretary, like that. There is a formal structure within the business. There are committee members. Everything is recorded. Formal structure is there. They are the advantages of associations. The last topic, disadvantages. Are there disadvantages? Yes, we have. First one, greater room for frauds. Because, do you know, in associations, accounting is not compulsory. So it can make number of frauds within the business organization, right? Thefts, right? Greater room for frauds. Next is a lot of paperwork. I told you everything should be recorded. The minutes, right? The points of the AGM. Secretary has a lot of paperwork. A disadvantage. Nobody likes it, right? Next disadvantage is shared control. Okay, shared control. I mean, head is the chairman, right? But he has always to get, experience, the support from experienced parties. There is a moderator. Shared control. Next is inspection by the public. For an example, all your activities, let's say you have started an intra-club in your school. It is inspected by the public, especially by the teachers. See, there are the disadvantages. Here we have, right, the disadvantages of associations. Harida, Puta, I'll try my best to cover this particular lesson by the next week. Samaharita man try ekak denna. Hari, because I need to start accounting as soon as possible. Emunat mata April mas accounting patan ganna puluwang ekay. So, right, I guess that we can cover all the things within 1 week. Oputa, now listen to me. You can see, right, the method this class is going on. You are doing your work and I am doing my part. So we can have, if you study well, you can end up with a very good result. They are doing perfectly well. Perfectly well. So let's do this. Let's complete this, right, nicely at the end. So Puta, please inform your friends if you have any, right, that you have found a very good class for this subject. You can recommend myself. Don't be afraid. I will not let you down. But I can't do this personally. I need your support as well. So once the session is over, I'm going to put that particular Google form. It contains just 10 questions. Check whether you know all the answers. But that includes some, right? Some general knowledge things. Okay, then that's all for today. Thank you very much for your patience and participation. And children, if you have not settled the fees for March, please settle it as soon as possible before the month end, right? And that's all for today. Thank you very much. And may God bless you. Thank you so much, Putala.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Putala.